Hello, everyone. Welcome to the You Are Worthy Network. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful start to your weekend. Um, I am super excited today because I don't usually do interviews on Saturday, not because I'm opposed to it, but because just busy with life and kids and that kind of thing. But I'm excited today because I love doing these interviews and showcasing other people and their passions. And today it's an added bonus because I get to bring someone to you that I know and that I respect. And I just want to introduce you all to Gina Kroezen. Gina, welcome to the You Are Worthy Network.
Thank you, Steve, for having me on Saturday. I feel special.
Absolutely. Gina, I've known for all you guys listening, I've known Gina for, I don't know, 2, 3 months now, and I had the honor of being on her network, I guess maybe 4, 6 weeks ago, something like that. And just she's just a really kind, warm human being, always looking to serve others and help other people. I think that'll come shining through as we talk today. But Gina, tell the folks what part of the world you're coming from today.
Thank you, Steve. I'm from Amsterdam, from the Netherlands. So I'm on another time zone.
That is so cool. So I've never been to Europe. Tell us a little bit about the weather. Has it already started to change there? Are you out of flip-flops and shorts now?
No, it's getting cold, it's getting rainy, and the leaves are falling down. And yeah, it's really a turnaround with the cold in house. And so I think the heater will be on in a few weeks.
Oh my goodness. Where I'm at in Tennessee, we had a little break in the weather last week. It got into the low 80s, and everybody was super, super excited. And it was like, we call that false fall around
Oh,
here because it's back into the 90s the next few days. So summer has not left the southern United States yet, for sure. Um, Gina, tell folks, that they can see it there in your background, the bigger picture. This is your private Facebook group that you started. Tell us how long ago and what your vision was for it.
thank you, Steve. The bigger picture is I started it in April, and I had 6 weeks off. I just started again yesterday or the day before, after 6 weeks of a break. My group is about holistic health, personal growth, and empowerment, and I call it for bold change makers and by bold change makers. It's actually my own case study of how I got into the place in life where I'm at now, because I also had some issues to overcome, and my own experience taught me that only working on your health doesn't cut it. If you want to grow, then you have to address all areas of life, not just working on your food and gym. And so, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to address all the layers, and you need empowerment. So that's what I try to offer for people.
I love that. Um, so give us an example. So you said not just food, not just diet. I know there's many different components to overall health, but give us an example of what you're talking about.
I can,
Maybe one for you that you really had to work on.
I can give my own example. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of trauma in my childhood. So I developed an eating disorder, and I was always sick, chronically sick, and there were unexplained health challenges. They always said you have to learn to live with it. So by the end of 20, early 30s, I was so sick of all the stress that was going on that I nearly died of a viral infection on my lungs. And that was my turning point, that I started to think, how can I be so sick? And what does stress has to do with it? So it gave me the mission to find out what is really going on. And I found out, I think 2 years after, I was 21 when I got so sick. And 2 years later, I started to see a psychotherapist, and we did some tests. And I found out that I had PTSD and an ACE score of 8. So I had something to work on. So only healthy food wouldn't have managed me to get out of that place. And that's something that I really um, love to give to other people. You can eat healthy, you can go to the gym, but if your mindset and your emotional balance is not there, it doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I really love that. It doesn't cut it. We need many tools in our tool belt to give us that overall healthy lifestyle that we want to live. I'll just say real quickly, just because I'm listening to you talk about the PTSD and counseling and that kind of thing. My wife and I have a nonprofit where we help people with their unprocessed emotions. And a lot of the time, it's unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, relationship challenges. And it's amazing to me, and I do mean this in a compassionate way. It's amazing how many years people hold on to those things, and it's affecting their overall health. You just don't always, well, we see it in their decisions and in their actions. But we can get pretty good as humans at hiding some of that stuff, can't we?
Yeah. Yeah, the pain, we like to avoid pain. So we always search for a way that's causing less pain than what we experience inside. So, and then we numb the pain that we actually are carrying with us. So we're always looking for happiness and avoiding pain. That's human nature. Instead of going in and confront the pain and end it.
Yeah, for that, what you just said there reminds me, I don't know who said it, but it's a quote, and it sounds a little harsh at first, but it's really true. It's like whatever happened to you, and we've all had stuff happen to us. It's unfortunate, but the healing is still our responsibility.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I really stand for. We have to take responsibility for it. Absolutely, because there
Mhm.
is where it goes wrong. If we don't take responsibility for it, then we continue to live in that trauma, and we affect other people by it.
Yeah, that is so, so true. Um, I'm trying to think of another quote, but I might not get it right. Uh, So was it during this time, Gina, that you're describing, the PTSD, the counseling? What was it during this time you would say was one of your low points?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was a moment in time that I woke up every morning. I was thinking, oh, I'm still here. Every morning I woke up, I
Mm,
was like, I had such a low heartbeat. I could not breathe because I was suffocating. Suddenly I had asthma. I never had asthma. Suddenly I had asthma and all kinds of other things. So my body was really giving in. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't sound like during that period of time that you felt very worthy. Would that
No,
be a fair thing to say?
oh, I wasn't. Absolutely not. There were a lot of things that happened. If you grow up in a certain way, not getting the sense of being worthy of having a fulfilled life. I was actually brought up with the belief if you're born a nickel, you will never become a dime. And my mom left when I was in.
Mm,
I grew up with only my dad and my brother, and in between there was a lot of um, neglect and mental abuse and all those things that happened for many, many years. So there was no way that I could have a good sense of worthiness about myself because of all the things that were reflected back in that way. And because of that, you also make certain choices in your life with friends and other relationships because that's the way you're programmed. And you know it's not what you want, but still it happens. So it stacks up.
I'm sorry you had to endure that in that period of your life. I know it's made you a better person. I know you've done a lot to heal from it, and it's part of what drives you today, but I'm still sorry you had to endure it.
Yeah, thank you. I always say without that, I wasn't the person I am today. So I never regret
Mhm,
anything.
exactly. So, okay, how did you transition from this dark period of your life to having this grandiose vision of serving others informing this impactful community that you've impacted, the bigger picture. How did that all come about?
Yeah, it actually took some time, but after that, I got better from the disease. I started to go back to study, and I went to Amsterdam to follow a study in rehabilitation training. And the funny thing is, I drove once a month to Amsterdam. I was living in the south of Holland, and I always ask myself, how would it be to live here? And then 3 years later, somebody from Amsterdam called me for an assignment to go on location for 4 months in that exact same space in Amsterdam. And I decided immediately to stay there. So for me, that was the opportunity to say goodbye to the traumatic environment that I was brought up in, just to take my distance and to really choose to live my life on my own terms. And that was a big, bold step. I did not consult anyone, I just did it. And that's now 19 years ago. And from there on, everything changed. And of course, life tested me a few times more. But there were beautiful lessons after all.
19 years ago. Wow. I bet there's a lot of folks that wouldn't even believe you went through that series unless they really knew you well back then. You're probably a totally different person today.
Yeah. 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 I think it's taking ownership of everything that you've gone through, and then you decide to take the responsibility back and do something with it.
Amazing. Amazing. So tell us how excited you are about your group. It's grown really, really fast. A lot of people are saying wonderful things about it. I know you love serving folks inside it. Tell us what makes you so passionate about it.
Yeah, actually, Friday, but no, Thursday, I had my 100th interview. I reached 3,500 members yesterday. And so
Congratulations. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so it's a big celebration for me. Yeah, what makes it so beautiful is that a lot of people know where to find it. It's a safe space where people can share their stories, just like I just did with you, and what they gain from it and how they serve other people. So a lot of people who are struggling or still finding a way to make that pivot, that bold change. There are so many people who are offering their services, and no one, not one size fits all. So I think it's very important that so many people are in there, so there are many people who can be helped.
Yeah, that's so true. Um, so what's next for Gina?
Yeah, double.
More of the same? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been a health stylist for many years. I transferred into a coach many years ago. I was sorry, I was a massage therapist when I started out as an entrepreneur more than 25 years ago. And 12 years ago, I had this back injury. That was another test that came along the way, but that's a different story. And then I decided to do different work, but still serving people with their health and their mindset. And because as a massage therapist, actually you're also a coach and a psychologist, and you're like talking and listening to people a lot. And I turned it into my new profession, or an extension from what I was doing. And so I transferred it to gut health, hormones, functional medicine, stress counseling. So I combined all those modalities, and that's the way I started to work more than 10 years ago. And I think I am now at this point that I think, yeah, there is more in my league, in my work that I can do for people, instead of just coaching and give advice on their health. So actually, I love to guide people to step into their own leadership with taking the responsibility back for their health, for everything that they need to change in their lives. So it's more than just, reducing the symptoms and starting eating healthy. So it's the whole package.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so needed today for sure. It's it's so easy to make a tweak here or there, but to only do it temporarily. But to do it for a lifetime, we definitely need help in doing that. We need the accountability. We need the action steps. We need somebody coaching us that's been there. So I really applaud the work you're doing to help people be as healthy as they can. It's much needed.
Thank you.
So I'm going to include all your information in the description, but tell folks where they can find you.
At the bigger picture here, they can Google it. It's my Facebook group, my private Facebook group. They can also join me on my Facebook page, my personal page, or they can send me a DM by Messenger. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn, but I'm way more busy on Facebook lately. Yeah.
Yes, you are, for sure. Um, Gina, thank you so much for being with us today. Any encouraging words from you as we get ready to close out here?
Yeah, I always close with the words of, if you feel something is off, if your gut is saying something is off, always follow your gut and go and find some help, because there is always somebody willing to help you or know somebody who can help you.
Wise and encouraging words. Thank you, Gina, for being with us today. It's been my honor to have you.
Thank you for having me, Steve. It was a pleasure to be here.
Friends, I love this time of day because I'm pretty confident that I get to be the first one to tell each of you today that you are worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of success. I appreciate each one of you. And just like Gina's story was not over 19 years ago, your story's not over yet, not by a long shot. Stay blessed. Have a great weekend. We'll be talking to you soon.
Bye bye.